And I have the honor of introducing our governor to you. Governor Nikki Nikki Haley. Let's start that over.
I'll answer to whatever.
Governor Nikki Haley was elected as our 116th governor of the state of South Carolina in November of 2010. One of the strongest physical conservatives in state government. She was first elected to represent the 87th district in Lexington County in 2004 as a virtual unknown when she beat the longest serving state legislature in the Republican primary. In 2008, Representative Haley was sent back to the State House with 83% of the vote, the highest percentage earned by any lawmaker facing a contested South Carolina election that year. She won the Republican nomination for governor in June of 2010. On a personal note, let me say, when she was first elected, in her first month in office, she came and met with all the sheriffs in the state at our winter conference. She came to us and she made a pledge to us that she wanted to work for the betterment of law enforcement in the state of South Carolina, and to do what she could and to listen to us and open the door for us to communicate with her and let her know what our needs were. We were facing some issues at that particular time, and she pledged to us her support and help in anything that we could do. We met, we laid some things out to her that was of some concern to us. She went to work at the State House and in state government and resolved a lot of those issues. The next year, she invited us, all the sheriffs, to the governor's mansion for dinner and to see how things were going. She pledged her support to us. We appreciate so much what she has done for us, what you've done for law enforcement in this state. It's truly an honor to have you here in Hembree County, and we welcome you.
Such a pleasure to be here, and this is an exciting time in the state of South Carolina. We started today in Charleston, where we announced that Charleston last year was the #1 tourist destination in the country. This year, Charleston, South Carolina was named the #1 tourist destination in the world. Wow. Because I've been focused so much on making sure that South Carolina was the it state for jobs. What I have also been focused on is the landscape of our legislature. We have to have people that will fight. We have to have people that will have a spine. We have to have people that understand that when they say they're going to do something, they do it and they don't back down. I think Greg Hembree is the person to make sure that happens. Jobs, but he doesn't just care about the jobs in Greenville and Spartanburg and Lexington. He understands that rural jobs matter, that putting them in those pockets where they don't have industry can make a town. He understands tax reform, which we have got to have. For years and years we've had legislators talking about it, and for years and years we pushed hard. We had $1 billion extra last year, and I begged our legislature, don't spend it, don't spend it. If you spend it, put it towards tax relief. Put it towards trust funds. Give it back to the people. Make sure we're paying down debt, but don't spend it. Our legislature spent it and quickly put it to an Irmo Veterans Park and state museums and a festival in Charleston and all of these things. We were able to veto most of those. Some stayed. And then what we found out at the end of this year is we didn't have enough money. Well, we didn't have enough money because they spent it. The other side of it is this is going to be a tough fiscal year. Next year is going to be even tougher. We need people that have a backbone that understand that if you give tax relief to our small businesses, if you reduce property taxes for our manufacturers, more will come. 95% of our economy is small business. If you give them cash flow and profit margins, they'll expand, they'll hire new people. We were just in Andrews and we were at Safe Rack Manufacturing, and they're expanding. Right there in Andrews, they're expanding, they're adding new people. But you know what? I need people like Greg Hembree that understands that it's not just getting companies to come here, but it's taking care of the ones that you have, and he has promised to do that. The other thing that I want to talk to you about is that he understands workforce. Times are changing. We're seeing unemployment rates at an all-time high. It's not because we're not bringing the jobs in. We've announced over 28,000 jobs. It's because you have people that were retired that are having to go back to work. It's because we have graduates that can no longer get out of school and find a job. We have to retrain those people. We have to get them back to work. He understands the blessings of our technical schools and has promised to fight for them, and for that I thank you as well, Greg. And then I will tell you this. This one's going to be a hard story for you to hear, but it's important for you to hear it. This past 2 years, we fought for something called the Department of Administration. And if you've heard me talk about it for so long, it was trying to get rid of the big green ugly monster, which was the Budget Control Board. If we needed to have the sink fixed at the residence, we had to call the Budget Control Board. 1,000 people work in that agency. Just imagine a CEO that has no control over their human resources, a CEO that has no control over their IT functions, a CEO that has no control over the buildings we own, the cars we own, the cell phones. That's me. What we wanted to do was make this a stronger executive state and say we have to have the Department of Administration, pull all the back office procedures and put it into one place under the governor. Let the IT services talk to each other. Let them figure out exactly how we could be efficient, and let the agencies focus on their mission. We got down to it in the first year. We asked the Senate to do it. They said, oh, we'll do it, we'll do it, we'll do it. Well, we waited, and it never happened. And so on the last day when the House had passed it, it had gone to the Senate, I told the Senate they couldn't leave until they got their job done. The Senate sued me. They won, according to the courts, and they left. Greg Hembree has promised not to leave. She is also for a shorter legislative session, which I love, by the way, because we can get more work done in a shorter amount of time. Second year we came back, House passed the Department of Administration, went to the Senate passed the Department of Administration. So they came together for a conference committee. 3 House members, 3 senators, they were all coming together and to come up with an agreement. They came up with a conference committee report, and they waited, and they waited, and they waited. Comes up to the next to the last day of session, and the House passes it over. The Senate has to approve it. We go to the Senate, and all I need is one vote on the record to sit the person down from talking so that we could get a vote on the record. All day I watched that TV screen downstairs waiting for that vote. We were 2 votes short. There were 3 people we were calling, and I was texting a lot of people. One person, we called a lot of their constituents and we said, keep him in his seat, make him vote, he's squishy. We need to make sure he gets tougher. The second one I flipped. So we were 1 vote short. Senator David Thomas had been defeated in Spartanburg, and so I called him and I said, David, I need you here. I need you to come vote. He said, I'm getting in the car, I'll be there in an hour and a half. At 4 o'clock, everything stops and dies at 5 o'clock at the end of the second year session. 4 o'clock, he gets there. We have the votes to sit him down and to just get a vote on the record. I didn't care if they were for it or not, but I knew we'd win if we had them vote for it. All of a sudden, Senate Finance Chairman sends a senator to the bathroom. He goes to the bathroom. He can't stay there forever, so he sneaks out through the garage. That senator was Ray Cleary. I lost the Department of Administration by 1 vote. 1 vote at the end of a 2-year session. The reason I come and fight for Greg Hembree, the reason you are seeing me go across the state and fight, is because that is a disgrace to the taxpayers. It is wrong. You deserve to know. Is Ray a nice guy? He's absolutely a nice guy. But I need fighters. What I know I will get from Greg Hembree. He will fight for tax reform. He will fight for jobs. He will fight to make sure our workforce is strong. He will fight for our technical schools. And guess what else? He's going to fight for ethics reform in the state of South Carolina. He's got a spine, he's strong, he's got an amazing wife, Renee, that's gonna back him up, keep him solid. Because when they go to Columbia, they go with the best of intentions, and along the way, they get a little broken. And there's nothing like having to look your spouse in the face and humble you quite a bit. I always say that my whole cabinet is surrounded by generals and colonels and all of that, and I use a lot of military people because they do what I say and they don't talk back. But my husband hasn't fallen for that yet, so I still have to work on that one a little bit. But this is why this is important. It's important that we get good, strong people in the Senate. Y'all have done an amazing job, but we need to bring this home. Call all the people on your email list. Facebook everybody. Tell everyone that this is important. This is a race we are watching because I need another seat at the Senate. I don't want to lose by one vote again. So while I can't do anything about our great Senator Cleary, I can do something about Greg Hembree. So you help me bring it home. I will continue to be a supporter of his. If he does everything he's supposed to, I'm going to come back and cheer him on and let you know how great he's doing. So Greg, it is with that I can't wait to see you in the Senate.
Governor Haley, first I want to say, welcome to the Independent Republic of Old Reed County. It really is an honor and a privilege to have you with us today. It's a big deal to us, and we don't take it for granted. I want to say also thank you to all of those that are gathered here today. You guys are our boss, and we appreciate the fact that you've hired us. I'm thankful that you hired me as your solicitor, and I hope that you're going to hire me to be your state senator. I want to take this opportunity also to recognize our elected officials that are here today. I know I see Brent Schultz on County Council, if you'll stand. Jody Prince, Bob Grabowski, Deidre Edmonds, I saw our probate judge, and Philip Thompson, of course, has already been introduced. He's a man that needs no introduction. It is appropriate that you be recognized, for you know both the cost and the blessings of serving the public. I also want to recognize those here today that are candidates for public office. I saw Dennis DeSabato, Kevin Hardy, Mike Ryle. Is that everybody? I believe that's right. Yeah, Mike's back there. And it's truly appropriate that you be recognized as well, because you are now learning the humbling and often exhausting experience of putting your name out there for the chance at public service, and that's a big deal. Finally, and I think, and definitely most importantly, I want to recognize the people that keep me grounded, help me to be a better candidate, a better public servant, and a better person. I want to introduce my wife Renee and my family. If you please stand. Governor Haley, it is with great humility and appreciation that I accept your endorsement of my candidacy for state senate. Thank you. Although Governor Haley and I come from very different backgrounds, we are so very much alike. We are in public service for the right reasons. We want to help to build a better state of South Carolina, and we want to change lives for the better. We both know that creating and keeping good jobs for our citizens is the most important task that we now face. We both know that government can do a better job, and it can do it on a budget. We both know that for our citizens to be competitive in the emerging economy, our children will need a superior education, and we have to be willing to try non-traditional methods to provide that education. And at the very core, we both know that it takes courage and that it takes resolve to bring about the fundamental change that is needed to change the way business is way too often done in Columbia. To bring new solutions to old problems, to move South Carolina forward, we need your help. Please stay engaged in the governing process. Voice your opinion to your elected officials. Pray for our state and those that lead it. And for goodness sakes, vote for Greg Hembree for state senator and Nikki Haley for governor so we support 2014. Thank you again, Governor Haley, and God bless the state of South Carolina.
Thank you all very much.